high school, man. It's high school never ends. All we do is go through various forms of high school. Tell me I'm wrong. I think about when you get to your first job. It's freshman year all
Yeah.
over again. When you make it to management, your lower management, it's freshman year all over again. Like, dude, college freshman year. I mean, it does. It never ends, man. I'm using a new camera today. I don't know if you
Nice.
can see that. I'm trying it out. I'm not sure how it'll look in post and all that, but I do know what this looks like, because it looks the same. Welcome to the show. Today's episode is proudly sponsored by Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. More on them in a bit. I don't know if people realize that actually took like whoops, I stopped it way too soon. Sorry about that. That took like 6 or 7 snips to make that little intro, because of my stutter, which is been getting better. Memory not as much, but few little tricks I've learned from speech therapy seem to be working quite well. People tell me I sound better these days, so that's fun. I'm super excited though about something I learned about late last night.
What is that?
That's Rob Zombie's Munsters movie. Oh man. I'm gonna read from Variety. Christine is working right now on LRM's piece for this. Like I said,
Work faster so we can feature that piece.
I know, right? I got it late last night, so she's working on it now. But excuse me, Rob Zombie. Let me go ahead and bring up the screen for you guys. Basic. There we go. Hold on. My son's got some school stuff on my bookmarks bar. No, I'm lying. It's porn. No, I'm joking. It really is my son's school stuff.
Why are you lying about it? You're an adult.
Oh, I would never lie about the porn. Why would I lie about the great, now we just got demonetized because it said the P word. Maybe I'll bleep it out in a funny way. But boom, ladies and gentlemen, right there, from Variety, Rob Zombie's Instagram, the Munsters, man.
Yeah.
Something he's been after for 20 years apparently. I believe I don't remember if it was a Jason Ellis interview, or another, maybe like a Stern or something, but a talk radio interview years ago. He was promoting another film, and someone was asking, "What do you want to do next?" And he said, "I'm not joking. I want to do the Munsters," or something like that, And that is one of the coolest ideas I've ever heard of. Even if it doesn't go, like, I don't expect it to be a like a super gory horror film or anything like that, but I definitely expect it to be a Rob Zombie Munsters, and that really makes me super excited.
Yeah, I grew up watching the Munsters, the classic show. So it'd be interesting to see what his spin is going to be on this. If how family friendly, if at all, it's going to be.
Yeah.
And
keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's cool. I loved all that stuff, like the Munsters and like the Wacky Racers, and I mean just anything with like the Addams Family and anything kind of like supernatural that was also kind of oriented to families a little bit. I always enjoyed. So when I saw this yesterday, I was like, it doesn't matter who's doing it. The Munsters are coming back for at least another run. or a
Yeah.
film or something.
Do you? Yeah, I was gonna say, do you remember that 1980 late 80s, early 90s, maybe mid 90s, where they had like the original Butch come back and he
Mm,
played like the dad or something like that, and it was like a made for TV movie. Um, the interesting thing here that Variety also reported on is that it's coming from Universal Studios 1440 Entertainment part, and they make both live action and animated films that are uh non-theatrical. So this is likely going to go on NBC Universal's Peacock
right.
and be a Peacock exclusive. Like I agree with you, or I don't think it will be a like an R or anything like that. It might even be PG. I would hope PG-13 and let Rob have a little fun if that's what he wants to do. But regardless, I don't know if everyone knows, besides his history with the band White Zombie, then as Rob Zombie, but the the artwork he does, it's very stylistic. Let me see if I can bring some up. Rob Zombie art. For people that might not be familiar with like this. This is like a Rob Zombie style art right there. Real big in the 90s. Yeah, this Ramones t-shirt all over Hot Topic and stuff. So Rob Zombie does that type of artwork as well. And when you think of that and something like the Munsters and the possibility of it being animated, I kind of almost want it to be animated. What do you think, man? You're muted, by the way.
Yeah, no, hell no, don't make it animated.
Oh,
Live action. Shoot, you're gonna get lazy and do animated for something something classic. Nah, no, you gotta go full. I don't think he would do animated either for it.
oh,
I
okay.
think
Well,
he'd want to tickle his monster bone and
that's true. That's true.
that came out weird, but
No, I got what you mean.
still.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's worked with Universal in the past a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's did a lot of with his films and stuff. He's done recently like the scare zones and the haunted houses for Fright Fest
Mm-hmm.
or whatever they call it now. What do they call it? They don't call
Halloween
it Fright Fest.
Horror Nights.
Not Horror Nights? Yeah, Fright Fest is Six Flags. That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the possible Marvel news?
No. What's the possible?
So I saw it on Twitter last night. I'm not sure. I've for now I'm still considering as a rumor, but according to Illuminati, uh, the antagonist in Black Panther 2 is going to be none other than Neymar.
Oh
Good
yeah,
luck,
I
man.
heard that rumor. Or no, it wasn't a rumor. It was God, was it? I don't remember the site, so I'm sorry I can't give you credit off the top of my head. But somebody wrote like a blog post about a theory, because they are running with a theory that I heard Eric Voss over at New Rockstars talk about, that Blade or something like that. That Atlantis is part of the Eternals allegedly, and so I've heard this idea. That would be interesting. You're muted again. You're muted.
Jesus. So
Failure. Now I'm really gonna fire you.
so dude, you talk to the poster. Um, the rumors that Tenoch Huerta, who's playing a role on there, is that he's playing Neymar. What I'm excited about is I think that they are kind of going to be taking Atlantis and having like a little bit of a Latin spin to it because some of the casting rumors I've heard is that they're looking for people with kind of like a Mayan descent or Latin American actors to fill a couple of roles. So I think that'd be a really cool spin on Atlantis, like a lost city, like a lost Mayan city or something like that. And I'm all for it if it's true. And
There's definitely. I mean, there's Lost Island myths over the world, so it's not far fetched for it to be that. People could bitch and complain all they want about, oh, it's a Mediterranean myth or whatever. Like I just said, it's not the only place that's got a Lost Island myth of their own. So and who's to say that what's his name just got the name wrong, anyways. Then number two, it allows you to again expand into a new area, and you're wanting to bring Ghost Rider in. Ghost Rider has some really good a really great character if they'd exchange the crotch rock. I'll accept the crotch rocket, okay? Hey, but Alejandro Joe, I'm gonna fucking keep screaming her name until Marvel actually makes her Ghost Rider. I just want to see old Ghost Rider mentor and leader down, and then watch her train with however Marvel wants to describe the biblical Adam. Like that type of stuff is so cool, and that's all Jones there, and her backstory of how she was sold by her father is just tragic, and is something that is real and does happen. So yeah, that would be real. I've never thought of that. I'm trying to think, because if it and the idea that it's connected to the Eternals could be completely wrong, and we could just have Atlantis and Namor without them. But the theory is that where you see Pixie or whatever, Pipsqueak, what's the small one? Pixie, right?
I don't know the
I
Eternals.
don't know. whatever the one that's in the kid like body. That one is like crying at a volcano, and I said I think that might be like Krakatoa or something. Some others are theorizing that's the destruction of Atlantis, and the Inhumans failed to stop it, and it was like the most advanced humans had gotten, and so they grant them something, that spear, and from their technology kicks off again or some shit. It's a theory, but even if that doesn't happen, man, you don't need a volcano. What if there's been meteor strikes? There's so many craters. I mean, look at where Mexico City itself was built, and the prophecy of, hey, look for the eagle with the snake in in the middle of a lake. There's where you're going to build and stuff. So engineering wise, you don't necessarily good idea to build on water and and below sea level, but hey, America did New Orleans, so
that worked out pretty well.
The poor Dutch, man. The Netherlands, such a beautiful place. You ever been to Europe?
No. I'm not white.
Dude, most of like the majority of Europe is darker like you and then pale like me. That's just the British Isles, and then the Russians and Germans. But most of like your Iberian Peninsula, it's Spain, Italy, the Mediterranean. That's all that, like, when they talk of like olive skinned people and Bible, we're gonna get accused of Bible thumping or some shit on this show. Welcome to the Daily Cup of Genre, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not hit that subscribe button, please do. And if you're listening on one of the apps, please follow us on it so you never miss a wonderful episode like this.
Oh boy, yeah. So also just keeping it with Marvel. Yesterday was the Loki press conference that I was able to attend.
Ooh.
And the biggest takeaway for all you Marvel people is that Mephisto is not in this series.
Yeah.
So you can stop trying to decode everything in the show to be Mephisto. I'm gonna save you the time and let you know that nah, it's not him. Because
I
there was already a scene where he's like
a
in a
stained
church
glass with a
and people are like,
devil
oh my
figure.
god,
Yeah.
it's Mephisto. It's like, don't start that again. It's not
Well, that
Mephisto.
that actually
Like,
came out. I think even before WandaVision, that scene, like that shot was included in like a sizzle reel and make sure. Yeah, there you
oh
go.
yeah.
But when we did our WandaVision reviews, my whole thing every time I was just pointing this scene and then the source material, and that was my whole thing. It's like I was the first one to call the fact that they were doing real magic in the show. And for
Uh-huh.
those that can't see us, I put real magic in air quotes because it was stage magic. There was misdirection. There was shadow play. There was legitimate smoke and mirrors being used in the show the same way that you do magic. So from the get go, I was like, look, guys, this is a magic show. Mutants maybe at the end, but I hope not. Like, I was against the idea, but I was like, it's a possibility. And then the Fantastic Four, I was against that as well. The whole Mephisto thing, again, it was like, look, here's source, this scene source. This is like when Pandemonium does this, and I'll again point to Pandemonium puppeting the boys from the end of WandaVision, where she's, astral projecting in her Scarlet Witch form, um, and reading from the book, and she hears the boys' voices again. Source material, but you're right. Not everything is going to be uh, connected, and I don't. I don't know how much you can say. I theorized that despite Loki being magic, that this was still a very time focused series.
Yeah,
Is okay.
that's the
Then there
case.
you go. There you go.
Yeah, it's actually it's actually really clever, and it's kind of what I've been wanting maybe from one of these shows. It's really different than what we're used to seeing, and it's because you're putting Tom Hiddleston's Loki in an uncomfortable situation that he's not used to.
Yeah,
He's
or he's
not
not
you
not in
he's not
control.
yes, he's not used to not being in control. He's not used to not having his powers at his disposal and having to work with other people. And but who else and who better than Owen Wilson? Just they gel together so well, kind of just such a buddy cop type of
Yeah.
feel, way more than Falcon and Winter Soldier. Uh, it's just a better time. I found that especially in the second episode, once they started interacting a little bit more and getting to know each other, I the show, my liking of it went way up because at first it has this weird like is this are they trying to make like a Legends of Tomorrow but a serious version? That's kind of what it feels like at first, but um they course correct pretty quick. Not that they were ever wrong, but it's gonna make for an interesting story because they can go anywhere. There's a lot of things that they can put in there from even from previous movies and things we haven't seen, or they can go to the future and these things
Yeah.
and everything in between. So, Loki's probably going to be more important than anyone really realizes, just
Yeah.
because it's their first real um showing of like messing with time
The
and
consequences of
yeah,
Endgame.
multiverses and things like that.
Yeah, we've seen the earthly people being displaced, coming
Mhm.
back, grieving, loss, and we've seen the human toll We have not seen the cosmic toll. We have not seen the reality toll. We've not seen the time toll, and so that's cool. That makes me excited. Not stay up till 2 a.m. excited, but
You have to stay up till 2
or
a.m.
3 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I just have to
Yeah.
which I'm already up anyway.
I'm out here on the East Coast with all the aliens and the UAPs and the UFOs apparently that I never knew until these people started talking about. Oh yeah, it's like off the North Carolina coast, off the Virginia coast, and I'm just like, great. You realize I have like this just diehard fear of grayling aliens, right? And now you got fucking flying saucers over me. Well, wonderful.
What I don't understand is why now? Why all of a sudden is it like, yeah, it's like, screw it. Tell them about all the aliens.
Because it's more than likely it's earthbound tech that we're just not being told about.
And it's easier to just say aliens because people go, ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it's all wordplay. It is interesting no matter what, even if it's our own stuff. It's like, okay, hey, when do you get that in commercial hands? Because I want to be able to go meet you at In-N-Out for lunch and then be able to get back home in 30 minutes. Like, that's the dream, right? So this technology of flying like 30,000 miles an hour or whatever they said, can we get that in commercial? Like, but if it's our adversaries, if it's the Russians, Chinese, a group of say Iran, North Korea, Russia, and China were working together, like a Sinister Four, or something like that. A Frightful Four. That's what they were called. That's right. The bad Fantastic Four, the Frightful Four. That's a really scary thought if you've got, because look, there's a reason why officers on naval that command and runs a lot of parts of Navy ships have to have like compartmentalized top secret type clearances, special clearances, like specific clearances, is because some of the tech on these boats is just stuff that nobody but the operators and the commanders know about. Like the guy at the next terminal has no idea what that tech is, right? Stuff like that could mean that we could have, say, a lower person looking at an object and going, yeah, that's a UAP, while a commander or an intelligence officer or a signals specialist on that same boat is like, that's us. They just don't know it. It's such a, and I guess this could count as our Tech Tuesday segment. Well, welcome to Tech Tuesday, sponsored by Anime-Versal Podcast, which just finished up Dr. Stone Season 2, The Stone Wars. You can check that out on YouTube and anywhere you get podcasts from, Spotify, Google, SoundCloud, that stuff. Yeah, that's the interesting and weird part, is just how compartmentalized America does its own technology.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah.
I mean, we already have a ton of tech anyway, and we can be fine. But whatever we think we have, the government is already probably what?
Usually in the military. Yeah, usually in the military, smaller things, when you think like weapons, small arms weapons, so handheld, whether it be machine guns, crew served, or shoulder fired rockets or whatever, things like that, 20-ish years before general fielding. The M16 is almost completely out of use in the active army, and I think the majority of our guard and reserves. But the M4 carbine itself came out in the 80s. People don't understand that. Like, it already is an ancient fucking weapon, but it still works. Like, it still kicks ass. It still is an effective platform because of its modulability, what you can put on it and all that. So, how did we get onto the military and weapons? I'm having a TBI moment here.
So let me put it on the chart. So first of all, we were talking about Mephisto, and then I'm just gonna take it all the way back there. You just started blabbing about aliens on the East Coast.
Yeah. So the technology. You were asking about how far along is the U.S. When you get up to aircraft, for example, we started working on stealth aircraft in the 1950s. Like, radar hits in the 40s, we're already working on ways to break it. I think our first anti-radar test vehicle, don't remember the name, was out in the 70s. And then look, in the 80s, you get your F-117 Nighthawk, right? The stealth fighter in actual operations. So those are usually 30 years. Technology is 30 years. So yeah, if you're testing something that you've been working on for, say, the last 20 years, it wouldn't be that surprising to see some really amazing stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of, we still do, but I look at like the 60s and some of those eras where you'd have those like future tech of tomorrow shows or whatever, where they'd show off certain things, gadgets or whatever. I don't feel like it's like you've said actually before. I think we've hit a wall in creativity. And like, I felt like that way with cell phones for a long time, where their biggest, sometimes they'll be like, look at the headphones that come with it.
Yeah.
Or we made it 3 inches bigger. Or
yeah.
and then the next one, we made it 3 inches smaller.
The fingerprint scanner in the inside. You know, I mean, like, they're, they get better. Like, the little notch for the cameras, kind of, have to get used to it. And there's now phones with the actual camera behind the screen, but you can kind of see that the screen is thinner there. But you know what's not thin? This segue to our sponsor, Grow Generation.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. For all of your cultivation needs, Grow Generation has the right products, service and staff to make your grow successful. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
And definitely not a thin segue whatsoever. Thank you guys, Grow Generation. We really do appreciate the sponsorship. Please go check them out, ladies and gentlemen. Tell them who sent you. It's the Daily COG, the Daily Cup of Genre. I don't know where my co-host is. He's out of frame. Hi, Mr. Miracle. Can you please tell us how you feel about having your movie canceled?
Well, his movie technically was, it was yeah, that sucked.
Man.
I have coffee, man.
Yeah, I saw. Or see now. Speaking of comic books, man, bad idea folded. Turns out it was a bad idea. No, I want to ask you this. To me, it showed.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna
go ahead.
Bad idea folded. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
Leave it alone. It's gonna be fine.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna.
Their marketing is so different than anything else that bad idea may be folding.
Got it.
But
because I had looked at it almost like a statement on comic book stores themselves, like their idea was good, but it was very, very focused on comic books stores, especially local comic book stores, very focused on comic book readers. And so yeah, if it's just a metamorphosis and things like that, okay, we'll we'll let the story continue then, as Manny says.
Well,
Just relax.
well, I know you don't follow it very closely, but a lot of their books sold out, and a lot of
Yeah.
their books went to second printing, and so
Yeah.
Mhm.
Got it. Which
yeah,
is
and you don't set out that kind of mass release with having so many people liking it and excited about
yeah.
it.
I just got notification of a big sale on their last 5 titles. Pre-order now. Bad Idea is
Mhm.
closing. So yeah, now I can definitely see what you're talking about. Which
Marketing.
that changes it. That kind of flips the script and makes it seem maybe comic book stores might have a shot at, might not see the size we saw pre-COVID or even say 2016. But I think we might get a stable comic book shop economy, at least in bigger cities that can support them. I don't think the cities of 50,000 anymore will always have 3 or 4 choices, but when you get to your 250,000 people plus cities, you might get three shops in the area. What do you think, Manny? How you feeling about comics?
Not good, and that is not because I don't believe that people don't want to read them. It's just the state that I see DC and Marvel in.
Oh, and their distribution,
their quality.
Oh, that too.
Just no real grabbers per se, and like I barely read anything right now. Like I'm reading War of the Bounty Hunters, and that's about it right now.
But do you check out any of the other like IP based books like Turtles, Power Rangers, Ghostbusters,
Power Rangers, yes, and no, the Transformer ones are really. I never really liked those books. I tried to get into them, but
yeah,
and I don't like Transformers in the comic book format. It just doesn't work for me.
What about the odd indie stuff like Saga when it first started? Zdarsky's Sex Criminals. You ever read that?
I haven't read those specifically, but yeah, no indie stuff. I'm all over it.
Okay.
Sometimes to read it in one sitting.
Tell me you've read. Oh, do you know what Chew is?
Yeah, I know what it is.
It's so. I'm not even gonna tell audience. Google the comic book Chew. Just check it out. It's very cool. It's a police procedural mystery type comic. Let me see. I forget who the author is. I'm bringing it up right now. It was created by John Layman and Rob Gilroy. Gilroy doing the arts. Letters by Layman himself too. And yeah, very, very cool. Let me see here. I guess I could maybe just share that little. That's really itty bitty. Why'd they do so itty bitty? Well, anyways, there you go. It's awesome book. So that's what I read. Like, I gave up on capes a long time ago. Other than for a while, Doc Strange, when I think it was Bemis was on it.
Mm-hmm.
Was doing a good job. The whole last days of Magic arc was awesome. Love it. I would love to see a take on that, and you can see that with Mordo at the end of Doc Strange 1, too many sorcerers. So the idea of trying to get rid of magic, like I would love to see that. There's a scene in that arc, and Damnation was a decent storyline too, where Mephisto came up and took over Vegas and shit. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, in Last Days of Magic and dealing with the empirical, you have to use magical artifacts that have magic imbued in them that weren't part of like the magic fabric that you can draw from. The energy's stored in the items, and Strange is out there trying to find everything he can to fight back, and they have to go talk to none other than Kingpin, who go figure has one of the world's largest stores of magical artifacts for defense. It was such a cool moment. It's one of those. That's what you want from a Marvel comic book, is a moment like that in the story where characters that rarely interact, Kingpin and Doctor Strange. That, you know, maybe if Kingpin's in an Avenger story, you know, but not very often. But it makes sense, you know. It makes sense that you have okay, I see what you just sent. Oh yeah, we'll in just one moment. Let me try to finish this thought. So I didn't know.
Yeah, exactly my point.
I didn't know. Well, dude, I can't even finish my point. What was I talking about? Fuck it. What are we looking at? Twitter? Is it a full trailer?
What are we looking at? No,
Oh, it's just oh God. That's what they. Okay.
Supposedly,
I'm bringing it.
Supposedly, my co-host here, Kyle Malone, is supposedly the biggest Ghostbuster fan. He has it tattooed on him.
So to be honest, on the Facebook forums yesterday, we saw nothing but posts about how disappointed they were that there was no trailer released for Ghostbusters Day. But
it's so graphic though, with the marshmallow.
Look, it just shows my excitement for the film. It was like, okay, whatever. But yeah, I guess we're gonna get something. The fun's just starting. I'm not happy about what I'm seeing here. Manny,
what worries you the most? And I can guess what it is.
It's just the childishness of it.
Yeah, I like the more you see the tiny marshmallows, the more you kind of see them that they're gonna be maybe like minions from Despicable Me, and completely ruin your movie.
It's fuck Sony. Why do you do this to me? Like I don't.
Sony knows you don't like them, so they're going to ruin Ghostbusters just.
So let me take you guys down a road that we've been down before. Okay, I love the real Ghostbusters, the cartoon. I've got the cartoons Stay Puffed up there on my wall. I legitimately do. I wrote a fun, tongue-in-cheek love letter of sorts to the real Ghostbusters. It is a show that I watch to this day with my son. His favorite episode was written by J. Michael Straczynski, my absolute all-time favorite comic book writer, and just a great writer in general. And he picked that on his own. It was just all of a sudden he kept asking for that episode when he was like 3, and it was like, oh, okay. But here's the simple fact. Ghostbusters 1 did really good. They saw that it did really good with kids and that it could sell merchandise. So once the merchandise went, here came the toys, because of things like G.I. Joe, He-Man, Ninja Turtles, all of that stuff's coming out at the same time. Like, toys are huge. Action figures are huge in the mid 80s, guys, and late 80s. And what does that really bring with it? A cartoon. Because why? You want to sell more toys, which means you need to introduce more characters. How do you introduce more characters in movies? These take too long to make. You make a cartoon. Then, when you finally make your sequel movie, you make it more kid-friendly so
Mhm.
more kids go see it. Ghostbusters 2, I love it because I was a kid when it came out, but my dad, he didn't care for it so much. 2 p.m. Jason Reitman, producer Ivan Reitman, and cast members will be chatting about Ghostbusters. IGN just posted on their Twitter. Okay, cool. Thank you, Manny, for keeping us updated on this. So
Yeah, because the Ghostbuster fan over here
dude,
doesn't.
I start the show. I start the show, and I bring up the news immediately. I don't prep. Well, who preps for a daily morning show? What am I today?
I expect you to be at least the View.
No, look. So it all comes down to that idea of it changed what Ghostbusters was. And
Yeah.
while
Mhm.
today I'm, 36 and a half years old, and I appreciate Ghostbusters 1 more than I still watched 2, liked 2, but I wanted more of 1, just like my dad did. He liked 1. He enjoyed 2 enough because he watched it with his kid got a kick out of it. You parents, we connect memories like that with movies that might even be subpar because it's like, oh, our child loved it so much and we spilled all the popcorn in this big fun moment. Those types of things are like the Gen Xers and the older. Those are the only ones I know that have good memories to Ghostbusters 2 is because they had a young person with them when they saw it. The majority of people that did not have youngsters that were 1 fans don't like 2. And I didn't know this. I didn't know people didn't like 2 until I was like 20 something. Like getting in the army and talking to a lot more like older adults that were, in the higher ranks, the guys that were solidly Gen Xers and the youngest of the boomers. They all didn't like Ghostbusters 2, and it was just like, why? So you go back and you examine and you get exactly why I look at that graphic and am disappointed. Manny, how do you feel about it after my 20-minute rant? Sorry.
No, so yeah, what I agree with you is that the problem with it with Ghostbusters is that you don't really have a viable target audience because you're alienating the old people who like it, and you're not really creating a new fan base because you don't really exactly know what it is. Because part of it is nostalgia and part of it is kind of setting up a new road for it in order to create more films. But when they do things like Afterlife, they don't do either because
Yeah.
you're not honoring what Ghostbusters officially originally was, and you're not and so you're disconnecting your core audience and thus probably disconnecting the younger generation that would go watch it with them.
I agree. I mean, look, I'm gonna be there on on theaters, but I'm not super stoked about it. It is what it is. I just what's
I didn't even know, was Ghostbusters Day, is that a thing yearly?
yes.
Because until today, I'll be honest, I've never heard of it.
Well, cause there's been no reason for people outside of like the cosplay prop groups, the Ghostbuster groups to celebrate it.
And what makes today Ghostbuster Day?
Was it release day? I
Was
believe
it?
it was
Oh, okay.
release day. Yeah, Ghostbusters.
Twi- Twitter, somebody says, when I saw the scene with Paul Rudd and the
Yeah,
marshmallows, I
release
had
day.
I lost hope for this film.
that's the thing is you and I are gonna get ripped apart for our opinion on, and we're not even saying that it's bad. We're not.
It just
It's
has
just
the
not
potential.
Ghostbusters. Yeah, and it has
the potential. It has like
bad
worse
potential.
potential.
Yeah. You know, I'm seeing this movie opening night, opening day, whatever, whenever they release it. I guess maybe that's what they'll tell us today. Maybe it won't even be a trailer. It'll be a teaser, a trailer date, and then the release date or some shit. I don't fucking know, but
They're
I
gonna
think
release the date
release
for the
date
trailer.
yeah, they'll release the date for the trailer because it's Sony. Oh my god.
You know what I hate now is I hate how studios do teaser trailers for the teaser.
Oh yeah, where there's a snippet of the trailer right before they're like, now the trailer for.
Well, no, that's okay because you get the trailer, but like a week ahead, it's like trailer for the trailer.
Yeah,
it's like,
no, I don't know why you go, you know, action, dun 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 dun, trailer, and then the actual trailer hurts. I just
and then I hate it when I'm watching a trailer and then all of a sudden there's a YouTube ad.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like the fuck, man, I'm watching an ad. Like what the hell? Don't double up on me, double dip. I'm watching an ad. Like, why are you making me watch another ad?
Yes, and not only that, but if it's a Marvel or Star Wars trailer, you're watching an ad within an ad for toys and merchandise. We live in idiocracy, people. It's here. Where's President? Was Camacho was his name? I think. Terry. Shit. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Terry. Help me out.
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you
talking about? Muscles guy. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Terry Crews. Thank you. I couldn't get his name out. Terry Crews and Idiocracy, man. President Camacho, I think was his name. That's all we're missing. We have ads within ads. We talk in text. We are back to using hieroglyphics for written communication.
We really are, man.
God. Since we're all in the modern age suck together, we all may as well subscribe to each other's stuff, which you guys can do by following us at our social media information on the banner below. Please do subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. Check out all the great interviews there. Some of the other podcasts that go up, like Marvel Loki Thursdays, starting on Thursday for that. Well, it's been going on, but Loki reviews will be going on Thursday. And then Anime-Versal Reviews on Saturdays. You've got Breaking Geek Radio on Fridays. All of our podcasts are also available on audio format wherever you get your podcasts from. Spotify, Google, Apple, SoundCloud is really nice because you can access our curated playlists. So yeah, check that out. Subscribe. And Manny, talk about some stuff.
So tomorrow I'm going to be reviewing a movie that came out already on Shudder today, which hopefully everybody watches because you might know the name George Romero.
Mm-hmm.
He had a film that was lost that actually is being released today called The Amusement Park. It's something that he did a little bit earlier. It's a 1973 feature, and it's available on Shudder. And so I am stoked to watch that because Romero films are something to watch as a piece of art
and something that we've never seen. The amusement.
Yes. Yeah. So that happens throughout this week. Starting today, I will have interviews up for In the Heights to get you ready for Lin-Manuel Miranda's film this weekend. At some point, we're gonna have some pieces for Loki with the release happening already tomorrow. Hopefully, I get some of that information today, as well as more things for the launch pad and other shows overall. Just a lot of stuff going on, and that's good because everything's opening up. So We're getting more and more opportunities. And thanks to everybody who follows us on YouTube, we get more and more better opportunities. And, because we can't do it without ya. So,
Nope. And you guys see all the great, comfortable, long, sometimes really long, not even an interview, conversations. Guys, we have conversations with celebrities like we know them or something. If you want more of that, follow, hit the subscribe button, share us with some friends and family, so that way the studios are like, oh shit, we want this movie out in front of more eyes. Go to LRM Online's Genreverse podcast network and LRMonline.com, because that's not going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We are LRM Online. And with that, go check out that website every single day for all your entertainment news needs, and opinions. Let me get this last part out. You can find me at that Kyle Malone on Twitter. He's at LRM_Emmanuel on Twitter. Thank you guys so much for listening today, watching today, however you consumed us. We'll talk to you tomorrow. I really said consume us.